Hey, welcome into New World News, everybody. It is Wednesday, May 11th, 2022. There is now a national baby formula shortage in this country, in the United States of America. Levels are at all-time lows, just about 50% less supply than there was just even a couple months ago. And what is causing this? I'm going to take you over and check out the story. It's all over the place. I have the Washington Post and CNN and Fox News and CNBC all covering this. But basically, there's been some retail theft. There's been resellers buying this stuff up to resell it and make some profit. Some people are referring to it as price gouging or scalping. That can be done on necessary items. You can't price gouge a PlayStation 5 because nobody needs a PlayStation. But when items are a necessity, in which some cases baby formula can be necessary. I know that some people could say you could breastfeed, but some folks can't breastfeed. Some families are unable to do that. So formula could be a necessity. eBay will shut you down. A lot of platforms will shut you down. So reselling is happening in some instances, not in others, but it is causing a supply chain issue. There's also the obvious supply chain issue that we've been dealing with on tons of stuff. And they're actually limiting it in stores to 2 or 4 cans per purchase, per person. They're locking it away like you'd see other products locked in the, behind lock and key, behind the glass. All kinds of stuff happening. So I just want to take you over to the story, and then I want you guys to use the comments. If you are somebody who has to buy baby formula, relies on it, and you're having an issue, let me know in the comment section. If you haven't yet, tell me that as well, or what you think of this overall. Is it price gouging? Is it scalping? What's causing this more than anything? Will it come back? Just please use the comment sections. They mean a lot to me, and we'll check it out. Let's go over and see the story. I have all kinds of sites, CNN, Fox News, CNBC, Washington Post, ABC. They're all covering it, so you could just pick your site if you want to watch one, but I've got one up. Let's go over and take a look. Okay, from the Washington Post, U.S. baby formula shortage is worrying parents, and here's what to know. The nationwide out-of-stock levels for infant formula hit a 43% last week. That means almost half of all places are out of stock of this, and it was updated today at about 12:20 Eastern time just a couple hours ago. For months, U.S. parents and caregivers have been contending with dwindling supplies of baby formula, but in recent weeks, the products have been especially hard to find, forcing some retailers to limit the purchases as the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, scramble to respond to the crisis. Roughly 1 in 4 parents exclusively breastfeed their children up to the age of 6 months. Leaving the overwhelming majority of parents and caregivers dependent on formula. So that means 75% of parents use formula, 25% breastfeed. Here's what you need to know. Why is it so hard to find? The shortage has been compounded by supply chain challenges, products recalls, and historic inflation, says Ben Reach, the executive of Data Assembly, which tracks retail information. As of last week, formula stockpiles were 43% lower than normal compared with 30 to 40% readings last month. So it's dropped another 10 or so percent, give or take, just in a month. Ongoing supply chain disruptions tied to the coronavirus pandemic have fueled shortages of a wider range of consumer goods, but the lack of baby formula worsened in February after manufacturer Abbott issued a recall for products made at a Michigan plant sold under the Similac, Alimitum, and Elecare labels. 4 children, 1 in Minnesota, 1 in Texas, and 2 in Ohio fell ill with bacterial infections, and 2 of them died. The FDA said the bacterium Chronobacter sakazaki may have contributed to the cause of death for both patients. Abbott said its own investigation and concluded that the infant formula made at its Sturgis, Michigan facility is unlikely to be the source of the infections. What's being done to address this problem? It's prioritizing production of infant formula products to alleviate shortfalls, including air shipping products from its FDA-registered facility in Ireland on a daily basis. The company said it has been working with government agencies to help parents who get formula through the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, that's WIC, W-I-C, with other Similac products at no cost, including for other manufacturer products. But those efforts have yet to translate to store shelves, according to Brian Dittmeyer, the Senior Director of Public Policy at the National WIC Association. That means that they're working directly to get it to some people, but you can't go out to the stores and find it. Abbott is the exclusive supplier for more than half the nation's WIC agencies, through which more than 1.2 million infants receive formula benefits, Dittmer said. Such benefits are typically limited to a special variety of formula, but agencies have waived some requirements to give families more flexibility during the shortage. The unprecedented scope of the formula recall has serious consequences for babies and new parents. The FDA Commissioner Robert Califf said in a statement Tuesday that the agency was doing everything in their power to ensure the adequate product available where and when. That's BS. Agency is meeting with the manufacturers to better understand their capacity to increase production. It's also expediting reviews of manufacturing changes and issuing of certificates to allow for flexibility in importing approved products. Still, the FDA under bipartisan criticism from some lawmakers over its response. Representative Rosa DeLauro, she's a Democrat from Connecticut, said in a statement that the agency may have reacted far too slowly to a whistleblower's concerns about Abbott's Michigan plant raised in October of 2021, so about 6 months ago. The FDA did not inspect the plant in person until the end of January, she said. So October to November to December to January. So 3 months. The whistleblower report alleged that Abbott falsified records, failed to maintain proper records, and released untested baby formula. It also alleged that Abbott hid information during the 2019 audit by the FDA and that products were unable to be properly traced. In the news release, Abbott said it would thoroughly investigate the allegations in the whistleblower's report. The company claimed it was put forth by the employee who was dismissed due to serious violations of their food safety policy. After dismissal, the former employee, through their attorney, has made evolving, new, and escalating allegations to multiple authorities. If you need a specific type of baby formula, parents and caregivers whose children need a certain type of formula for health conditions or other reasons, the shortage and recall have been particularly onerous. For Claire Rowan, a Virginia mother whose 16-year-old son has extreme and deadly food allergies, the recall forced her to issue a plea on Facebook that as of now he has no food, none, she continued. Our choices are no food or likely anaphylaxis, which is like a allergy that causes you to die, an allergic reaction that will cause you to die. But what is a mother whose 16-year-old son doing like with formula? Something I'm missing there? 16-month-old son maybe, or 16-year? I don't understand that. For people in situations like Rowan, the FDA said it has informed Abbott that it has no objection to the company immediately releasing products to individuals needing urgent life-sustaining supplies. Anyone needing specialized formulas can call Abbott directly and request the product on a case-by-case. Still, the FDA warned the products were made at the Michigan plant during the time when safety concerns have been raised and therefore carry a risk of contamination. Great! Those seeking access should consult with their healthcare provider in considering whether the benefit of consuming such product outweighs the potential risk of bacterial infection. The FDA says not to make your own formula at home. It can lack essential nutrients. Even so, some parents might understandably feel desperate enough to try. The shortage is colliding with raging inflation. Americans are paying more for necessities across the board: gas in their cars, roof of their head, baby formula. And the only viable substitute for breast milk is expensive, with the average cost of popular brands exceeding $1,000 in the infant's first year. So about $80 a month, which sounds really low to me. I felt like people for a newborn, for babies with formula, were paying $100, $150 a month for formula. Maybe I could be wrong. Dittmer said the National WIC Association has been sounding the alarm about risky behaviors that have been amplified on social media, including the use of homemade formulas, diluting infant formula, consuming recalled formula products, or introducing cow's milk earlier than recommended. And of course, consult your health provider when switching formulas. So that's the story. That's the big deal about shortages. Unbelievable. Is anybody experiencing this? Is anybody having trouble? Please use the comment section. Let me know so I can read these in a future video or on my social media accounts, and hopefully this gets resolved quickly. With that said, please hit the like button. If you want to subscribe to this channel to see more videos, I would really appreciate it. Love to have you on the channel. And in the future, I'll put out updates to this as it changes. Thank you so much for watching. As always, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you in the next one.